Right, so as you guys are abundantly aware, I was on a break for a while, and now I'm back, so I'm gonna try and catch up with all the comics that I missed, that I didn't review. So I'm gonna review the ones that came out in the last couple weeks that are part of an ongoing series. Like I said, any minis, like the King and Black tie-ins that I'm reading, the just other minis that I'm reading. There's an Iron Fist mini going out that I'm enjoying, but I'm not going to do a video on it until it's done. Much like I will do with King and Black itself, I'm not going to do a video on King and Black until it's done. But today I'm going to talk about Spider-Man issue 59. I missed doing a video on this when it came out. It's been a week now, so I think I can go into spoiler stuff with it, and it's fine. And the next issue's coming out next week, so if what I say in this video interests you, because I still think that Spider-Man is one of the best books coming out of Marvel at the moment. I know a lot of people seem to think, yeah, but no. But no, it's not. To those people, you're very entitled to your opinion, but I personally think what Nick Spencer's doing with Kindred and putting that on the back burner now, I think that's genius. Honestly, I think that this whole run has been, all the build up to Kindred was all very light-hearted, jokey, and they had some moments in there that showed off, damn, Nick Spencer can write a tense, serious moment. But those moments were few and far between. You had some in the Kraven storyline, you had some in the Black Cat storyline, you had some in some other places, but overall it was all very light-hearted and jokey. And then the Sins Rising thing came out, and that was all very dark and very gritty, and every issue that's kind of been revolving around Kindred has been very horror-esque. I think Nick Spencer can write horror, and I don't know who's doing the art on this issue, but this issue in particular is very, very beautiful with how the art is drawn and everything. This issue kind of takes away, and this current arc is kind of taking away from the Kindred stuff, putting that on the back burner. I don't think we're going to be going back to Kindred for a while, but right now what's going on is more with what's going on with Wilson Fisk, the Boomerang storyline that was in the first half of the first leading issues to Kindred, and basically what's going on there, what's his end game, what's his plan, and what does that have to do with Mr. Negative. And everything coming out of this does spin out of what was happening in the Kindred storyline, so that makes sense. It makes sense thematically why this is happening now, but it also, I like how everything kind of ties together. Kindred ties to Wilson Fisk, but what Wilson Fisk is trying to do has nothing really to do with Kindred, but it's more to do with the New York underworld and the crime syndicate with all that, and you see all the crime bosses and all of the C or D tier crime bosses at the end of this issue, and Mr. Negative comes into that room and he's like, you'll have some competition, because they're all trying to find this tablet, not an iPad or a pill, but they're all trying to find this tome tablet thing. If you played Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions, you'll probably know what I'm talking about. It's the thing that Mysterio uses in that game. But yeah, I don't know anything about that outside of what's in this and what's in the Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions game. But I'm interested to see where that storyline's going. I'm more interested in the Kindred stuff because I think there is more twists and turns to that than I think meets the eye. I don't think Harry Osborn is like as in control as people think. I think there's more behind that than what is actually shown to us. I think there's more to that story, and I think Nick Spencer is on purpose trying to elongate that as much as possible to keep people interested and to keep people reading. And at least for me, it's working. I know for a lot of people, they just want answers. They just want to know what exactly is the point of Kindred and why is Harry Osborn a villain now, and they don't really care for these like tangential arcs to do with the Kingpin, Boomerang. There's going to be something to do with Tombstone and Robbie and Robbie Robertson. Like, they're going to butt heads, and there's going to be something to do with that, and then Spider-Man's going to get a new suit, which I've already talked about. The design is not good. The design is not good. I don't know what they were thinking with the grey and it just doesn't work. But from what I've seen from looking at the solicitations and stuff, I don't think that suit doesn't last long. At least it's only on 2 covers. So I don't know if like any cover after that is just lying, or if they looked at like the Twitter like backlash to that suit, and they looked at all of the backlash to that suit, and they were like, yeah, people don't like this, switch back to the other one. But yeah, overall, this issue kind of, I don't know if you can tell from me not actually talking about the book a lot, nothing happens. There's a fight at Feast, so like what happened last issue, if you watched my video about last issue, if you haven't, you should probably do that. But there's a fight at the Feast Centre. Aunt May has a moment where she's like, why does this always happen to me? I'm trying to do something nice. I'm trying to set up this kind of homeless shelter, and every other week it gets destroyed, demolished, blown up, etc. And why is it happening to me? Is this like karma or something? And Peter's just like, no, it's a me problem. And well, he doesn't exactly say it like that, but he implies that it's not Aunt May's fault and it's more his fault, which isn't really the case either. This is a thing that had really nothing to do with him, because Martin Lee wanted to see Aunt May. That's kind of it. But either way, I don't really understand why Peter's blaming himself for what happened at the Feast Centre, because it has nothing to do with him, and it is an Aunt May problem. But overall, I'm interested to see where everything goes, and I've always been the kind of comic book reader that's like, if a story grabs me, then it grabs me, and if it wants to go on for like 100 issues, then yeah, I think they can wrap it up sooner. But also, if you want a mystery, because this is meant to be like a serialized storytelling thing, if you want a mystery and if you want that to go on for a long time, I don't see why you can't. Like, it's the same idea as like a soap opera, where they have ongoing storylines, and their ongoing storylines last for way longer. And yes, episodes of a soap come out daily, or sometimes twice a day, but also it takes like 15 minutes to read a comic book, and I get looking back at like how Stan Lee used to write comic books and being like, I miss the days when it was just a one and done, and like everyone can pick up like a new story. But let's look at it, at least with how I look at it. I'm not going to pick up a book from issue 15. I'm gonna pick up a book from issue 1, and if it's an issue 15, and I'm going into a comic book shop, I'm going to pick up the trades from issue 1 to that issue, and then I'll pick up the floppies. Or I'll just wait for everything to come into a trade. Just saying, if you're someone that does that and just trade waits, it's not doing well for the comic book store. It's not doing well for the actual run itself. And it's going to get to a point where Spider-Man can't keep a book at that point. I've noticed a lot of people are trying to pirate books now. Don't do that. It's scummy. Even if you're like right, Spider-Man doesn't need my money. It can thrive on its own. No, it can't. Basically, back in the 80s, Transformers, the original Transformers series, was... I know this tangent should be in a different video, and I'll probably make a whole video about this, because the whole comic book piracy thing, it's something that really grinds my gears. But basically, in the 80s, the 1980s Transformers series was basically making numbers that a best-selling book would make now, and it was cancelled at issue 81. Or not issue 81, it was cancelled at issue 85. But issue 85 sold well enough to be a bestseller now. So the bestsellers now are making what books that were being cancelled were making back in the 80s. Do you not see why piracy is a problem when you have a book like Spider-Man, and it's rarely ever like making over 1 million sales? And the thing is, yes, the movies are to blame as well for this, because they don't promote the comics in any like big way. Yes, you have Logan reading an X-Men comic in Logan, but there's nothing at the end of that movie that says, if you enjoyed this, go read Old Man Logan. There's nothing like at the start of an MCU movie that's like, this story is based off of this run. If you like this movie, you'll probably enjoy that. If you liked Captain America the Winter Soldier, you'll probably like the storyline it's based off, Captain America Winter Soldier, etc., etc. The movies need to do more to get like comic book sales. And the thing is, now that Kevin Feige is like the spearhead of everything Marvel, like the movies and the comics, I think his role will be just make everything like the movies, and the comics don't matter, which is a very terrible mindset, but it's also the mindset of a lot of people, and a lot of people working in Hollywood now. But yeah, I've kind of gone on a weird tangent. I don't know why, but yeah, Spider-Man issue 59, it's good. Spider-Man in general has been really good. Amazing Spider-Man in general has been really good. Read it. Just go out, read it, buy it. If you don't have a comic book shop that's open near you, and that is everyone, because comic book shops should not be open at the moment. I'm sure there's either curbside pickup, you can get deliveries. I'm sure I'm sure most people watching this have a mobile phone where they can get the Marvel Comics app. They can get Comixology, and you can buy your comics on there, and you can read them on your phone. I get that reading on your phone is it doesn't feel as good as reading an actual comic book, but if you can't get a physical comic book right now, buying on your phone, it's a solid option, because they also have, at least the Marvel Comics app has guided view. So if you are literally the newest of new reader and you don't know how comic book layout goes, then yeah, it will literally just basically walk you through the book like how you should read it. It will zoom in on the panels, and it will literally go panel by panel how you should read it, instead of just showing you the page with a really confusing panel layout and you having to make out what is the order of how I should read it. They really need something like that for manga, because manga is even more confusing. But anyways, if you like this video, let me know in the comments below if you liked it. If you like these more tangential, ranty-esque videos, like if you liked the second half of this video, basically, let me know in the comments below, and I might dedicate a whole video, or I might dedicate a whole series to just talking about my opinions about the comic book industry, about gaming industry, about like things that basically interest me. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Usual links are in the description, so you'll have my Instagram, my Twitter, my Twitch. Want to grow all those platforms. The more audience participation and audience like conversation that I have, the better. So if you can let me know what kind of content you enjoy, what kind of content you don't like as much, and just what basically help me mold the channel to something that you guys will actually enjoy watching. With that being said, peace.